Welcome to Cram Bamble, a podcast about nothing in particular, but like that young impressionable teen who goes to a midnight rave and meets some dark, handsome gentleman with long hair and lots of gold rings, suddenly finds themselves thrust into a dark, deep pit of vampirism, feeding on your first child, killing your first kitten, wearing your first cape.
When did kitten killing come into the whole vampiric?
My name's Taz.
And I'm Kirsten.
Hey Kirsten, important question. Where the fuck did all the vampires go?
They're still around.
Really? You don't hear about them as much though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you turned on any young person TV show or opened a book?
I just imagine that little logo where they go Disney Channel and they paint the Mickey Mouse ears.
And instead it's just bat wings?
Yeah. My first murder on the Disney Channel. Bing, bing.
No, what's it called? There's a particular genre of books called young adult.
Young adult.
YA. They always abbreviate it to YA.
But even then, like when you walk through a bookstore, you don't see as many of that kind of vampire. There was a lot of it about 5 years ago and not so much lately. Not that I've seen.
Petering out, you think?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of other things now.
There is a theory that it has a lot to do with politics.
What?
Yeah, vampires and zombies. There's a theory that it has to do with politics. So if a conservative government is in, then most people like zombies. Like there's a strong push for zombies.
Okay.
And if it's vice versa, then it's vampires. Because vampires are seen as sexy and subversive and,
Gotcha.
Yeah, and like against the rules, whereas zombies are mindless automatons.
Okay, so are we in the season of troglodytes? Or like a giant froghemoth? Maybe like some swamp creature that lurches its way out of the muck?
Oh gosh, no, I think we're at like amoeba stage.
Amoeba?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
single-celled organisms.
Oh my goodness, I can't even wrap my head around that. Back to vampires, I got some questions.
All right, let's hit up your questions. Listeners who have stuck with us so far, we've had, what is this, episode 5?
6. Unless we cut one.
We'll realise that usually I come up with the questions, but Taz has actually taken the initiative now and
I got
research.
I got thinking about vampires. I mean, when I was a teen, Anne Rice was the thing. That was cool.
Oh gosh, yes. And your parents, I don't know about your parents, but my parents were just happy to see me reading and it was salacious.
You were reading the dirty books.
It was a dirty book.
Dirty books. And then after our kind of reading teen generation, because I consider generations once there's the next batch of teens, so I think it's every 10 years personally. I think there's like the 30-year thing for generations, but my brain is like, once there's a 10-year gap, it's a new generation.
Yeah, I know, I'm with you there.
And
because I would say the difference between us and 20-year-olds is huge, and then us and teenagers is even bigger.
Yes, astronomical. And I think Twilight was the next one after that for that kind of, that vampire, excitement.
Sorry, my hand's got pins and needles. I'm going to move my microphone.
No.
I hope it doesn't make too much noise.
You have to cast spells with your fingers. It will make lots of noise, and it will ruin the entire podcast.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, everybody.
Listening to our old episodes, and like some sort of Bermuda Triangle effect, that sound of the microphone will reverberate back through previous episodes.
I know that was trying to be, really bizarre, but I none of that I followed.
Someone's going to send us an email, and they're going to be like, I found it. I found the times.
But how would they send us an email, Taz?
They send us an email at crambamblepodcast@gmail.com or they could send us a non-bic pic DM on Twitter, because we also have a Twitter account now, because we're cool and up to date and young and hip. If you just look up Cram Bamble, you know how to spell it. It's there on your podcast where you can find us.
That was the most contrived plug we've done.
It was smooth. And obviously you found our podcast, but if your friends don't already know, they can find it on iTunes, Google, Spotify, or on our home, Podbean. And that's all I've figured out how to upload it to so far, because I am an old man.
Do you think Beanpod was taken?
Maybe. There was Buzzsprout, which sounds cooler but is more confusing.
Buzzsprout.
Yeah. I think because buzz is a buzzword.
Why is it so agricultural?
I don't know.
Pods and...
Because
I mean horticultural, not agricultural?
Well, horticultural then leads into agricultural.
I think it's the other way around. No, you're right. That's the right way around.
Yes.
All right, vampires.
Okay. Can vampires even use smartphones?
Well, they wouldn't be able to do the face recognition, would they?
Exactly. But the other thing as well, I'm pretty sure you need to have an element of body heat to use the thumbprint scanner or even the touchscreen. So they would need to buy a stylus. I think there's a level of like static that your body creates, and that's why they have little rubber styluses. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on the science of that.
You know what? I had a very similar thought.
Yeah.
About, because we have to take my son to the dentist for his checkups.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, if he were a vampire, how would they see his back teeth? Because they use that little mirror.
Well, I don't think they'd be as concerned about his back teeth if he was a vampire, just the front ones.
No,
He doesn't need to chew anymore.
So they don't eat anything at all?
As far as I've ever seen, read, or heard, they can eat, but they don't need to. And
they can eat.
I guess
because I'd be devastated if I couldn't eat.
Well, your
anymore.
digestive system would kind of shut down, except for processing blood. So I think in some forms,
would you
of
be
media,
very sick?
Well, they throw it up afterwards. They eat to kind of blend in, so they don't look like people that aren't people.
Oh, that's very glamorous. They don't mention that.
I don't recall what it was that I read it, and I was like, no one had ever
novels?
kind of addressed it, and I was like, finally, someone's like, why aren't you eating your chicken nuggets, Vlad? Oh, I'm not hungry. Just imagine Vlad and he's like full old school Transylvanian get up and he's just sitting there in KFC.
Stephanie, I think Stacey might have an eating disorder.
Oh, jeez. Is this blood gluten-free?
Well, I was thinking about that too. Could you get obese vampires if they're feeding on, fat? I don't want to say Americans because Australia's just been promoted. I think, what did I say? 2 out of 3?
We're getting into the big leagues.
Yep, 2 out of 3 Australians are overweight or obese.
We've become heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters, nice. I like that.
I can't think of a third pun. That's it for that.
Hit the big leagues.
I said that. That was the first one.
Was that the big one?
I said big leagues and heavy hitters.
Sorry.
You can track back, listener.
Oh, no, I believe you.
And once you find out, again, that I'm correct,
and then
be sure to send that email through to cranbammerpodcast@gmail.com.
I'll die of embarrassment.
Just steal me. They'll clip that text and they'll put like funny music to it. You remember that time Kirsten made an ass out of herself? Listen to this clip. So embarrassing.
And then the Seinfeld music afterwards.
No,
that's not Seinfeld.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Curb Your Enthusiasm, but said the wrong thing. I goofed, guys.
Oh, he goofed too.
Oh, I've shut down the email. I've shut down the email address. You can't send through the jokes anymore.
That's all right. They'll just sample it and use it as ringtones. Everyone use it as your ringtone.
The thought that got me onto wondering if vampires can use smartphones is because it would be the best tool these days to lure victims. Social media. Things like that. But a lot of it does require you to take a picture of yourself or upload a picture of yourself. So unless they were full catfishing, it'd be difficult because
they could catfish. That seems like a really legitimate thing to do. I don't think they'd need to. Honestly, they'd have young teenage girls just throwing themselves at them.
Do people even meet in the real world anymore? Is it all online?
Yeah, you would meet online first. But
like
the minute you say,
board.
I am a real vampire.
A creepy goth message board.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have a problem meeting victims. And that's why I don't think they've gone anywhere. Because you said, where did vampires go? I think they're just rife.
Just rife.
And I think there's so many people, in inverted commas, on the internet who claim to be vampires.
Man,
they identify as one. They've had their teeth sharpened.
I'm clearly on different websites to you because I just haven't seen them. I'm in the wrong space. Are you looking for...
Just troll Reddit. People are just...
Troll Reddit.
Oh, man.
Wretched hive of scum and villainy. We love you, Reddit. So.
Yep.
Uber Eats for vampires.
We should do that. That's our new venture.
I think it's just Uber Eats. They just order like
and what drain the delivery guy?
Yep. They just order.
You can order anything then.
Well, can you imagine? And I got on a really dark track with this.
And they've got a blood transfusion like kit set up in each car.
No, not even like just literally what you said. Just eat the driver. So they order a gyros. The driver brings the Euros. They're on their smartphone that somehow, against the conventional laws of my belief system, they're now using a smartphone because they can't do it on like an old Nokia 3300. Or they're just using a computer. Maybe it's a computer. Can you use Uber Eats on a PC?
Yes.
And track it?
Yeah.
Oh, my brain considers computers to be
archaic
versus phones, but they're much more capable. Okay, so you're tracking your driver.
Wait. Just, can I stop you here?
Yes.
You want to commit a crime.
You're a vampire, it doesn't matter. You stand outside the laws of man.
Yeah, but you want to commit a crime, as in, even if you're not going to kill this driver, you're just going to drain him of his blood, which is assault.
As much as you can consider ants to be people,
and this company knows where you live.
Well, they know where you're getting your food delivered. Because I got 2 burgers delivered to a cricket field.
We did 2 weeks ago. That. That's how lazy we are. It wasn't lazy. We were watching cricket. It went on too long, and we just got some burgers delivered.
And where would a vampire set up an account for Uber Eats, you ask me? Why, from their last victim.
That's so smart.
So, they order a Euros.
Uh-huh.
Ramesh brings you your Euros.
Okay.
Ramesh has his family in the car. Because 1 out of 2 Uber Eats drivers has their family in the car.
That's so true. Or their girlfriend or their wife.
Now, or their friend. Like just, 2 dudes cruising around. One's hanging out with the other one's delivery driving.
I've seen that often.
So, is a vampire getting an Uber Eats and seeing someone else in the car, same as when you go to McDonald's, order food, you get given the wrong order and you've got 4 Big Macs instead of that 1 fillet of fish and you're like, ooh, bonus.
But he's got to go out to the car because they don't both come to your door.
There's a deliver to door button.
Yeah.
And then he comes in.
The one guy delivers to door. The other one stays in the car.
Yeah, he comes in with his phone in his pocket and then you message his friend.
To say what? Okay, now, you're the guy sitting in the car,
yes.
right? What message could you possibly get that would make you go into that house?
Well, I tell you what, after listening to this podcast, nothing.
I know, right?
I'd be like, Taz and Kirsten warned me about this shit.
I would slide over into the driver's seat and drive away.
Oh, what if we get a message on Twitter one day? Hey, my name's John. My mate's just gone in to deliver a Euros to a house.
I got a text message
just
saying,
eat my friend, did you?
I've just got a text message saying, you should come inside, blah, blah, blah.
If your first victim is under the age of 30, so they're in their 20s, easy. You send the text of, dude, get in here, money everywhere.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, you know they would.
Okay, you're saying they. I said you.
If I was the guy in the car... I don't like
to think that our listeners are dumb.
If I was in the car...
Yep.
And my friend is a delivery driver... And goes in to deliver a Euros...
Yep.
And I didn't see someone at the door... And then my friend texts me and says, dude, get in here. There's money everywhere. I'm grabbing the duffel bag from the back of the car and running inside that house. I'm going to get me some new shoes.
I'm trying to think. I've got to actually put myself in that scenario. So I'm sitting there. Well, first of all, why am I in the Uber car with my friend? But that doesn't matter. So I'm sitting there and I get a text message. They've gone inside. Dude, come in here. There's loads of money.
Okay, let me sell this for you. There are 3...
Am I mid-20s?
There are 3 money emojis after that.
Am I in my mid-20s?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we all make stupid decisions.
Absolutely.
Especially for money.
Heck yeah, money everywhere.
Okay, that totally sounded like
yeah,
prostitution or stripping. I have done neither of those things.
It's a valid form of employment.
Oh man!
So,
it's so I don't know. It's not like I was really justifying some choices I've made in my life.
So I've obviously gotten on this whole thing of vampires and smartphones. Okay, let's just assume that vampires can indeed, these vampires can indeed use smartphones. We're all screwed for starters because we keep everything there. How easy would it be
to track them down? Your perfect victim.
Because once upon a time, when you're trying to go around, you need like fake IDs and stuff. You need like a passport and all that. Unless you want to go across country lines or leave the country, having a smartphone is almost as good as having someone's ID. Like if you can log into it. If you got access to that, people save their phone, their bank cards to it, all that kind of stuff. How easy would it be for a vampire to just assume identities, or at least some of the benefits come with identities, money, housing, that kind of stuff, with just a person's phone?
Oh, absolutely. Not only that, they got a thing called like a glamour or a...
Yes. Well, in some media formats, yes.
Yeah.
True Blood has glamour.
Yeah, you could really, if you needed to travel overseas with a fake passport, you sort of just glamour the guy at the passport checkout thing. And he just goes, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm happy for you to go through.
I wonder if there'd be any issue of a vampire walking through an X-ray machine.
They'd still have bones.
They do have bones.
They're not full of metal. In fact, they'd be very anti-metal.
That's true.
I don't think the X-ray's an issue.
I just feel like cameras everywhere. Oh.
It's not going to be an issue. They can't see them.
No, you wouldn't be able to cross the country unless you snuck through. Because they now put your passport down. There's a camera there comparing your face. It's not visual anymore.
You'd have to sneak in.
Yeah.
You'd have to be so uber wealthy, which they would be because they've lived for hundreds of years.
True. They got the private jets.
Yeah. So you've got your private jets.
Not even...
Okay, that's not an issue.
So maybe
Wait.
Yes.
Unless you're a new vampire, like, are they churning out new vampires? Or do you think it's like an old school family kind of thing, like those, like the mafia kind of, you keep it in the family.
Like in Underworld.
Because I was thinking if it was like British, let's say there was British vampires, they would be so, and German in particular, they'd be so hell-bent on keeping the family lineage, there might be a fair bit of inbreeding there, especially a few hundred years ago when they didn't really identify the health risks in doing that.
There's only a few vampire stories that actually have them as breeding, though. They create new vampires.
Yeah.
So they're not really mixing DNA so much as just converting it, I
suppose there's no vampire births, is there?
There were in Blade. So in the Blade series, they had the aristocratic vampires that were actually born. And so they were born as vampires as opposed to turned. And so they were full bloods, whereas the ones that were turned were kind of seen as a second class. They would use them as like their runaround boys and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Blade 2, I believe. Oh, no. Yeah, Blade 2. Blade 2. The vampire princess burns in the sun because she wants to see the sun for the first time because she was born a vampire and all that, melodramatic nonsense.
Oh, God.
Woe is me, I live forever and I do whatever I want. I'm so bored. I'm going... Mate, oh, no.
What?
All those melodramatic vampires that, stepped into the sunlight before the turn of the new century. That's when all the cool technology kicked off. They're like, oh, I'm so bored of this TV, whatever. Now we got, smartphones and, cool consoles. They could have just hung out for another 10 years. It would have been sweet.
If they did.
Vampire streamers.
Gosh, they'd have the aptitude for it. Late nights, not needing much sleep.
You just have a no-cam stream. Just your voice. You play the game. You speak into your microphone. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
Just do it
Or
forever.
you do that, that fake thing they're doing now?
Where they have a video of someone else pretending to play?
Yeah, but... No. It's your face, but it does motion capture and then puts a celebrity.
The deep fake. But you'd still need to film your face.
Would you be able to put a green mask on, like a green screen?
Yeah.
And have it superimposed on top of that?
But you would it'd be someone else's face.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Or they just wear a mask. So maybe all those cool streamers that wear masks and you can't see any of their face are actually vampires.
Oh my God, we've cracked it.
We've cracked it. Brilliant. Let's go find them. And if there aren't any, that's the new stream we need to create. The vampire stream.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that can be the platform.
Yes.
For vampire streamers. And then we just keep advertising Uber Eats.
Yes. Bring your friends with my euros.
What if they were really into... that's a question I've always wanted to ask.
Yes.
So, if someone's eaten an awful lot of garlic, would that go through into the blood?
It makes sense that it would.
Like the enzymes and the...
Well, I dare say there's some chemical component within garlic that caused irritation for vampires, so I guess that would still be in the bloodstream, so yes.
I mean, maybe not even in the blood, but I'm sure maybe in your lymphatic system, just some of the enzymes.
There's something to it.
And do they have to touch the garlic? What is the garlic thing with vampires?
I honestly don't know.
People only just, in the trope...
Yeah.
They just go, oh no, garlic. I think it's just the smell.
Was garlic used to ward off any sort of disease in old times?
I'd have to look
Because,
that
I mean,
up.
the whole plague thing and vampires, that's all very heavily linked. So anything that kind of wards off disease, allegedly, was always a big thing for vampires as well. Or maybe garlic is such a strong smell, it covers the smell of cadavers. And so it just kind of got linked that way.
None of that seems like I've never read anything about that.
Could be true, though.
I mean, it could. Anything could be true.
Yeah, you didn't consider Uber Eats vampires until today, so...
This is true.
This is true.
What if, and this is awesome.
Yeah.
So you are I'm just flipping your idea.
Do it. Roll with it.
You're the vampire Uber Eats driver.
Yes.
And you deliberately only deliver to people you know who live alone and are single and won't be missed for a while.
Yes.
So you go there, you deliver their Urus. Here's your Urus. And they say, oh, come on in. And you go, hum, hum, hum.
Oh, no. You have to make sure they give you a 5-star rating first, then hum, hum, hum.
Well, you're super charming and glamour.
Oh, we just like taking a small drink from them, or we're just like completely eviscerating them?
Well, you can kill them because you've done your research and they won't be missed for a few days.
Oh, true. You have done your research. Creepy.
Because you're on the internet now. You're an internet vampire.
That's true. In which case, you would want to be an Uber Eats or delivery driver in a very close inner city location. You wouldn't want to do that for suburban.
I'm trying to do puns. I can't think of any except for Vamp Wired. No.
Vamp Wired.
That was pretty good.
It was good. I can't think of anything else, so it sticks. Like the name of a show. Okay. Try to spitball some names of a TV show that is about a modern age vampire that is like works in IT. Or...
I'm sorry, I think I just did.
Okay, Vamp Wired. Okay. What's the other name of a TV show?
With a vampire that works in IT. I'm pretty sure that's called The IT Show. That's already currently on IT Crew.
Maybe.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they've got a vampire that lives with like in a cupboard.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so probably...
IT Crowd. Oh, God,
IT Crowd,
embarrassing.
yes.
I love that show. Richard Ayoade. Amazing.
I was just going to say Bite and the INT in capital.
Oh, that's so clever.
Or BYT, Bite.
That's
And
what
it's
I
a
was
vampire
already
hacker.
thinking.
Oh, no, I was thinking like Bite is in IT, so lowercase b, capital ITE, or actually BYT.
BYT.
That way it's not
way
too
funny.
close to IT
Yeah.
Crowd and we
Yeah.
get sued by the BBC.
Yep.
We know how they feel about that kind of stuff.
You say that, but you have no
They
idea
say-
how litigious they are.
They send the boys around. They kneecap you. That's how they sort out plagiarism.
I'm sure they do.
And-
They're all tea and crumpets.
That's what they want you to think.
Oh, right.
The British Empire has been giving everyone the perception of tea and crumpets while systematically destroying cultures and environments
You're
for
right.
centuries.
I've seen Kingsman.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, tea and crumpets. Hello, India. Yeah.
Give us all your tea.
Cricket, we made that. What a charming sport you've got there. Let's make it better. How? We'll give it an English name. Cricket.
And then we'll beat you in it. Oh, that didn't go well.
Oh, that went awkwardly. Don't worry. We can always play against the convicts because they're quite terrible. Oh, bloody hell, Joseph. Why'd you teach the convicts how to play cricket? Uh-oh. The convicts have taught the other convicts how to play cricket. It's a revolution.
That is quite funny. Oh, actually, speaking of sport, which we're not. Well,
Yes.
we are sort of.
American people are like, what the frick is cricket? Look it up. You will be very, very bored.
Actually, 2020 is pretty good. I don't mind that one. No, I didn't realize, but that currently there is a big World Cup soccer, or is it rugby?
I am not a sports person, so I couldn't say.
Oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. Neither am I. But there was a very, very good joke because I think New Zealand and Australia tend to usually win.
Yes.
And South Africa is doing a brilliant job at the moment.
Nice.
And I think they've knocked them out.
Ooh.
I think. But I heard a very funny joke because the last match was being held in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think I've given the punchline, so the joke's not going to be quite so funny.
Dun dun.
But it was an Australian, a New Zealander, and a South African walk into a bar. Oh, no, wait, the South African's still in Japan. As if to say, the rest came home and they were.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind that one.
Very funny.
Thank you.
Thank you for adding that to the podcast.
Yep.
If you're listening to this on iTunes, be sure to give us a 5-star
I think at least
rating.
Four people laughed about that.
5-star rating, regardless.
4 people
of that
laughed
terrible
at that joke. It's not my joke. I read it on Facebook.
Well, like Jimmy Carr says, it's all about timing.
Well, I also had to explain it to. If you have to explain a joke, it's not going to be funny.
I think the timing for that joke was not right now.
The timing for that joke was never because of the amount I had to explain.
That's true. I can always cut that out.
Oh,
like
no.
some sort of like
leave
some
it
sort
in
of
there
growth,
for posterity.
like some sort of mole, and you're like, I'm just going to cut that out.
Oh, you leave it in there.
Just leave it in there.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Maybe
like
there's a
I
hidden
said,
message.
4 out of the 6 million people on the planet laughed at that joke.
Okay. 6 billion. Wait, did the apocalypse already happen? What day is it? Shit.
Oh, I meant like the 6 million people that listen to this podcast.
Oh, that's a low number. Guys, if we're seriously only at 6 million people listening, can you do your job and tell your friends about this podcast?
I'm happy with 6 million, you greedy bastard.
But that is so many more people that aren't happy because they don't know about this podcast.
That's true.
We're
could
doing
be
them
making
a disservice.
Yeah, that's. Well, look, not everybody's going to like it. We're a little bit contentious. I'm sure, fundamentalist Christians aren't going to.
I haven't said a single thing that is contentious, nor scandalous, nor inappropriate.
I think that's really naive. We've offended someone. I know we have.
I'm not saying we haven't offended someone. I'm just saying I haven't said anything wrong.
Oh, of course. Never. All right. So where were we? Vampires, Uber, modern.
Well, I kind of covered it already, but I had written down here Tinder for vampires, but I think that's probably just, like you said.
There's no way that
creepy.
straight out of the gate, I'm going to veto that one.
Yeah.
Because if no one's got a profile pic.
Yeah. Oh, yes, because you have to have the Facebook attached and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, they could catfish.
They could catfish, and they probably do. They probably have done for centuries. Centuries.
Batfish?
Batfish. I was going to say, an actual catfish vampire. Like the ones that they have in India that are further downstream where they put the dead body parts that have actually gotten the taste for human flesh.
Oh,
so
right.
They can't go in the waters further away from the city because there are like 4
If he was on
catfish.
Tinder, I'd probably swipe no thank you.
Yeah, that's fair.
A corpse-eating catfish. I mean, I've dated some bad guys, but
Whoa.
I think I might draw the limit there.
That seems like a good place to end it. This has been Cram Bamble. Like we said before, we have now finally got a few of our intranet things set up because we are not cool and hip and young. So crambamblepodcast@gmail.com. Send us any questions. We're not going to answer all of them, but if there's anything that seems to go on the tangent and the tilt that we've been taking, a little bit more of the spooky supernatural and
Yeah, well, I think that's definitely where we're headed. We're loving all this folklore, supernatural.
It's just easier to talk about. It
Well,
feels a little bit closer to
interest.
home.
Yeah. I mean, we've been researching this stuff for years. And
So
we love doing it.
We've got the Gmail, we've got the Twitter, Cram Bamble, and we should have this up on iTunes, Google, Spotify. Well, this was recorded in the past from when you're listening to it, and you were in the future. Hey, what were the lotto numbers last Tuesday?
Oh,
You tell us. Oh, wait, the email won't work because you can't. Damn it.
that's so trite. We've been calling them shower thoughts, but I would prefer questions if you're going to email through questions.
Power thoughts.
Yeah, it's something that hasn't been asked before. So if you're going to ask us, what's a bad question? Okay?
If you had to fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses, then get the fuck out of my Gmail.
Okay, but that's not
shit.
supernatural. But I was thinking
But
more along
that's
the
similar
lines
context.
of, oh, what would you do if you got abducted by aliens?
Yeah, that's dumb.
I guess we could work with that because it's so broad.
Is
but
Pluto a planet?
yeah.
NASA said yes. They're back in.
What?
Pluto's back in, baby! Cram Bamble Podcast, my name's Taz.
I'm Kirsten.
We'll
Bye.
catch you next time.